We're back to give you the legal edge. It can be a bit confusing for some people when we talk about the Michigan court system because there are a handful of courts and dozens of judges who focus on different aspects of the law. So tonight, attorney Brian Waldman from the Sinus Stramus Law Firm is here for you to break it all down for us.
The Michigan court system is easiest to think about in terms of kind of a pyramid. And at the bottom of the pyramid, you have what are called the trial courts. There's three types of trial courts in Michigan. There's the probate court that hears things like wills, estates, guardianships, conservatorships. There's the district court, which is the courts that most people are going to interact with throughout their lives. They hear cases involving traffic citations, what's called civil infractions, misdemeanor crimes, civil disputes involving up to $25,000, landlord-tenant issues, things like that of that nature. And then the third trial court is the circuit court, which hears civil disputes of over $25,000 and criminal cases involving felonies. And then above the trial courts, you have the Michigan Court of Appeals, consists of, I believe, 24 judges. And any final order or final decision of a trial court, particularly the probate courts and the circuit courts, the person who loses or is unhappy with the result has the right to appeal to the Court of Appeals. And so they have a huge high volume of cases decided by 24 judges. And then there's also cases that they can decide they want to take, even if there's not a final judgment or order of a trial court. And then above the Court of Appeals is the Michigan Supreme Court. The Michigan Supreme Court consists of 7 judges. They only hear cases where they grant leave to appeal. In other words, they say we're granting permission to the parties to come before us and tell us why we should hear this case or why we should change what the Court of Appeals has done. They get about 2,000 requests or applications for leave every year where a party or parties are asking them to hear a case for a certain reason. They only grant those requests in about 2 to 3% of the cases. So they only hear about 40 to 60 cases a year. A large percentage of their time is spent just deciding which cases to hear. And they typically try to hear cases that are more complex. They almost always try to hear cases that involve issues that are important to the public or will have an impact on the public.